The golden autumn sun cast long shadows across Riverside Academy's perfectly manicured lawn. Hundreds of alumni gathered on the grounds, champagne glasses in hand, laughter echoing between the stone buildings. 10 years had passed since graduation, and the class of 2015 had returned to celebrate their success, their memories, their shared history. Principal Victoria Hayes stood at the podium, adjusting her microphone. Welcome back, graduates. Today we celebrate excellence, tradition, and the bonds that unite us. But not everyone felt united. Not everyone remembered Riverside Academy with fondness. 300 miles away, Marcus Chen sat in the leather seat of his helicopter, hands steady on the controls. His jaw tightened as he approached the coordinates. The same grounds where he had eaten lunch alone. The same house where students had shoved past him, called him names, reminded him daily that scholarship kids, especially black scholarship kids, did not belong in their world. 15 minutes out, his pilot assistant, James, confirmed through the headset. Marcus nodded. His navy suit was pressed sharp, his shoes polished to mirrors. Success had found him, but the scars remained. The words still echoed sometimes, late at night. Go back where you came from. Charity case. You don't belong here. He belonged now. On his terms, back at the reunion, Derek Ashford held court near the fountain, his voice booming across the crowd. Older now, softer around the middle, but still carrying that same arrogance. Remember when we put that scholarship kid's backpack on the roof? Chen something. God, he was so pathetic. His friends laughed nervously. Some had grown past their cruelty. Others, like Derek, wore it like a badge, then they heard it. A distant thumping sound, growing louder. Heads turned skyward. The helicopter descended onto the Academy's north lawn, wind whipping through the gathered crowd. Women clutched their dresses, men shielded their drinks. The aircraft settled with precision, rotors slowing to a stop. The door opened, Marcus Chen stepped out. Silence spread through the reunion like wildfire. Whispers erupted. Is that Marcus? No way. What happened to him? He walked forward, each step measured, confident. His eyes scanned the crowd until they locked on Derek. The bully's face had gone pale, champagne glass frozen halfway to his lips. Marcus crossed the lawn. People parted like water. Derek Ashford, Marcus said, his voice calm but carrying weight. Been a while. Derek tried to recover his composure, forcing a smile. Chen. Whoa, man. Nice entrance. Helicopter pilot now. Owner, actually, Marcus replied. I own 7 helicopters. Part of my transportation company. We also operate in 12 countries. But that's not why I'm here. The crowd pressed closer, sensing something bigger than a simple reunion. Principal Hayes descended from the podium, confusion written across her features. Derek's smile faltered. Look, if this is about high school, we were just kids, man. Boys being boys. Boys being boys, Marcus repeated slowly. He pulled a tablet from his jacket. Is that what you called it when you pushed me down the stairs? When you threw my scholarship essay in the toilet? When you spray-painted that word across my locker? Gasps rippled through the alumni. Some remembered. Others had chosen to forget. I was 17 years old, Marcus continued, his voice rising with controlled emotion. 17, working 2 jobs, maintaining a 4.0, trying to survive in a place that treated me like garbage. And you know what the worst part was? He turned to face Principal Hayes. She had stopped walking, frozen in place. The worst part was that the adults knew. They watched it happen. Some even encouraged it. Now wait just a minute, Principal Hayes started, but Marcus raised his hand. I have documentation. 10 years worth of investigation. Emails between former faculty members discussing how to quietly fail me out. Records of disciplinary actions against me for disrupting class when I reported harassment. Financial records showing that my scholarship fund was mysteriously reduced 3 times, forcing me to work even more hours. He tapped the tablet, and images projected onto the large screen behind the podium. Emails. Memos. Damning evidence of systemic racism, protected by institutional silence. I hired investigators, Marcus explained to the stunned crowd. Former FBI agents, actually. They found that Riverside Academy had a pattern. 43 scholarship students of color over 20 years. Only 9 graduated. The rest were pushed out through academic probation or behavioral issues that somehow never affected wealthy white students. Derek tried to slip away through the crowd, but Marcus's security team, which had quietly positioned themselves, blocked the exits. I also found something interesting about you, Derek, Marcus said, turning back to his former tormentor. Your family donated heavily to this school. $250,000 the year I arrived. Another $100,000 when I filed my first harassment complaint. Funny how that complaint disappeared, isn't it? Derek's face had gone from pale to red. You can't prove anything. Actually, I can. And I did. See, I didn't just come here to show off. I came here to deliver justice. Marcus pulled out an envelope. The State Education Board received my full report last month. As of this morning, Riverside Academy is under formal investigation. 18 former faculty members are facing charges. The school's accreditation is being reviewed. Principal Hayes staggered backward, caught by another staff member. You destroyed this institution, she whispered. No, Marcus said firmly. You destroyed it when you chose cruelty over compassion. When you chose donations over decency. When you looked at a scared kid asking for help and decided he was worth less than your reputation. He turned to address the entire gathering. But I'm not here just for revenge. I'm here to rebuild. I've purchased the land adjacent to this academy. I'm building a new school, fully funded scholarships for underprivileged students. No family wealth requirements. No old money connections. Just merit, character, and potential. The crowd was silent, processing the weight of his words. Furthermore, Marcus continued, I've established a legal fund for victims of institutional racism in private schools. Free representation. Full investigations. No more silence. He looked at Derek one final time. You took 4 years of my life and tried to break me. Instead, you gave me purpose. So thank you, Derek. Your cruelty built my empire. Marcus turned and walked back toward his helicopter. Before boarding, he stopped and addressed one final group, the handful of current scholarship students who had been watching from the periphery, their faces full of recognition and hope. To those of you fighting the same fight I fought, he called out, don't let them dim your light. Document everything. Speak up. Find your allies. And remember that success is the loudest answer to those who doubt you. Your story doesn't end with their hate. It begins despite it. The helicopter lifted off, carrying Marcus Chen back into the sky. Behind him, cameras flashed as news crews descended on Riverside Academy. The investigation he had promised was already making headlines. Justice had arrived, not with anger, but with action. Not with violence, but with truth. And for every student who had suffered in silence, watching that helicopter rise above the institution that had failed them, hope lifted too. The future would be different. Marcus Chen had made sure of that.